Welcome to the Black in Motion podcast, powered by Rise Free Media, with your host, Braxton Simpson. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Braxton Simpson, and we're back for another episode of the Black in Motion podcast. So super excited to have an amazing guest with us today, Miss Destiny Butler.
Hey, y'all.
Yes. So Destiny is here, y'all. She is a community activist. She's an HBCU grad. She's my sister in D9. Listen, we have so much things in common, and I'm so excited for you all to learn more about her. So, Destiny, without further ado, want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I first want to say thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Of course.
It is such an honor. I'm so elated to be here. I've been super excited since you asked.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you here.
Yes. I think it's also truly amazing what God has done in my life because coming to a new state and trying to navigate and learn about and what's going on out here and meeting different people. We just have so much in common, and I'm just super happy to be a part of everything that you have going on.
Yes.
So a little bit about me. My name is Destiny Butler. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I moved to North Carolina about 4 years ago. Time flies when you're having fun. I've been in the nonprofit space for about 6+ years. I also have been in the advocacy space for about 8+ years. I've done youth development. I've done programming. I've been a club director for Boys and Girls Club. I'm a part of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, as well as I do a lot of educational policy reform with the job that I'm doing now and advocacy for educators in public schools. And I just do a plethora of things that relates back to the Black community. That is my sole focus in life. And that is my sole focus on my journey towards becoming the woman that I desire to be.
Yes, and I'm so happy that you are here because, girl, we're going to get into it. I mean, that's what the Black in Motion podcast is all about, right? Adulting, making those transitions, navigating through life, but also how we pouring back into our people, how we pouring back into the Black community, how we working together, building community, building our collective power, and just having the conversations that need to be had.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start with our first section, and that's going to be around rebuilding and thriving post-2024 election and pandemic. And girl, we know we've been through the ringer.
Baby.
We've been through the ringer. So let's just start with this first question. What steps do you think that we can take as a community to rebuild trust in our educational institutions, especially with some of the ongoing attacks on DEI initiatives in schools and universities?
That's a really great question. As we all take a sigh,
a collective breath
into life.
Yes.
Thank you. That's a really great question because we always talk about the enragement that we feel right now, the things that we feel like that are against us, but we never talk about how to rebuild.
Yeah.
And I think that in this space and in this time, it's super important to understand that you don't eliminate these spaces, you enhance the spaces. So within our universities, when I was at Morgan State University, the best HBCU. Yeah.
Well, you know, I beg to differ, but we love our HBCUs.
We do. Look, we're going to get into it. But when I was at Morgan State, we as students, as the student body, we cultivated spaces that was by us and for us. So that way we can have platforms to advocate for things that we desire and the things that we need. And I think that even with DEI being stripped away from us, I think it's super important to graduate to creating those spaces to be more inclusive, make sure that those spaces are bigger, more grander on your campus, but also making sure that we are investing in ourselves and we're paying attention to the things that we need as HBCU students. A lot of times, and when I let me go back. When I say make it more diverse, I mean outreach to other Black organizations that are on campus, other Black organizations that may be focused in on different areas so that we can come together and build that collective power.
Yeah.
Because HBCUs are diverse.
Hello.
Has many different Black people from many different places. So I think within this time and in this moment where we feel like things are being snatched away from us, let's snatch it back. Snatch it back in the spaces that we can take up that space and take up that power. But we also need to be advocating for ourselves at the legislature.
That's the key part. So let's talk about that, right? Because I think what we experienced a lot, specifically in the last election, is a lot of opinions, a lot of thoughts, but not necessarily always a lot of the civic engagement aspect and the push and the showing up on the other side of that, right? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, going to the polls is great, but also we need to be pushing legislatively. We need to be lobbying. We need to be doing all those things. So can you talk a little bit about the importance of that?
Yes. So I think that a lot of times students go into lobbying as something that is very scary, something that is very like, this is not their space to be able to voice their opinions and speak on the things that they feel like is right. But we elected these people in. We are the people that are coming together to assure that we have a society that is equitable for our students. So why not go in front of legislators and tell them exactly what you need and exactly what you want? I think it's something very important to recognize that when we wait for everybody else to do it, nobody gets it done.
No. Nobody's in a rush for us.
Exactly. So we have our political science associations. We have our social work associations. We have our psychology associations. If you can go down there and advocate for the things that you need in these fields, you can also go down there and advocate for the things that your peers need as well. Speak for those who cannot speak. And I think that the college institution is primarily a space filled up with professionals and leading professionals of the world. Mm-hmm. Do something with that. Don't just sit on it. It's a
huge resource.
Do something with that. Mm-hmm. Go down there, make your voice heard. And don't feel powerless just because somebody tells you that you have no power.
And we literally have, like you said, we have the makeup. We
Exactly.
have the right. If these are the people that you want to be speaking in front of somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah. These educators, these doctors, these students that are on the right path. Mm-hmm. Like these are the people that we want to go advocate for us. And so when we have this big pool of resources, we need to utilize that.
And stop being afraid. Mm-hmm. Scared money don't make no money.
I know that's right, girl. I know that's right. So, kind of building on that, just speaking a little bit more about HBCU specifically. And for those that are listening, historically Black colleges and universities, how can we advocate for policies that protect and strengthen HBCUs, but also ensure that they continue to thrive as centers of Black excellence and leadership, especially in this time that we're in?
I think the biggest part of it is understanding the policies that impact us. Mm-hmm. When you just take a second, we have TikTok, we have Google, we have Instagram, Facebook. Take a second to just read up on policies that impact you directly and impact the field that you would like to go in, impact the people that's around you, and impact your family.
Right.
When you read up on these policies and you understand what these policies are trying to either take away or impose, it's easier for you to act on those policies and also enlighten other people. So the biggest thing you can do in this world is when you receive knowledge, you give back that knowledge to other people that may not understand it, and you put it in terms where they can be able to relate to those policies. I think that's important. The first place. I think that's literally the first step. Mm-hmm. And then the second step is talk to people that are in the field advocating for or against these policies, so that way you can get educated even more and you be able to show up to different rallies, show up to different town halls, show up to the legislature, show up in masses on buses to literally Capitol Hill
and save your life, live your communities.
Yes.
And I think also understanding the opposition too. Yes. So it's not only about what you think, you got to understand the plays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people that's across the aisle. Mm-hmm. You have to understand. And in order for you to come to a space where you are advocating for yourself, you have to know what you're advocating for. Mm-hmm. And you have to know what you're advocating against. Because some of these bills, they got a lot of questionable language in them. And you have to understand what exactly you're advocating for and advocating against. And then, of course, you take that back to your community so that way you can build upon.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And those are some really good steps and like action items for people. Because I think a lot of times, especially during election, I was hearing people getting up to the ballot box and afterwards kind of talking to me about, oh, I saw this ballot initiative on here. Or I saw this and like, I didn't know to vote yes or no. Mm-hmm. we got to know about that stuff before we go in.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you should study for an interview before you go, you should study before you go up to sign your name, a signature. We got to just start really reading.
And there's so many great resources.
Yeah.
One that I came upon is actually my soror. She works for this organization called Vote Owl.
Okay.
And they have an app where you can go on. You can put what district you're in, and it will give you all of the candidate options. It'll give you all of their policies. And then it'll also let you know what ballot initiatives are going to be on your specific ballot, so that you can almost do a sample ballot before you go in.
Nice.
And you know exactly what it's almost like a practice, pretest.
Yeah.
Pretest. Yeah. So it was very helpful for me.
And also the events that Roz had.
Yeah.
Like, to just enlighten the student body about what to expect.
Yeah. Yeah. What to expect. And as I say, I always recommend getting with some type of organization, regardless of the organization, that is working towards civic engagement.
Exactly.
And working to inform. And I know that's something that, we focused on, of course, but there's so many organizations doing that work, trying to inform not only students, but just the community about how to get civically engaged, how to make it fun, how to make it engaging, but also like equipping you to be able to save your life. And a lot of these policies do come down to life and death.
It does.
They do.
It 100%
and we're
do.
seeing that, and we're living that out in real time as we're seeing, people being displaced, as we're seeing, rights being stripped away, resources, the inability to have the right to vote and all types of things. We're seeing so much happen. Women's rights going away.
Things that you would never in your entire life
think we would be back here so quickly in a life that we haven't really seen this.
Exactly.
And we're living it. And so, yeah, get with organizations and these nonprofits that are very much doing this work.
Right.
And, doing the real work to just make sure that the community is informed, equipped, and empowered to be able to save their life.
Yeah. And above all, if you're overwhelmed with all of the information, take it day by day and just read for yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll shift to adulting. Yeah, let's get into adulting. Yeah, Randy's always talking about adulting. It's interesting, an interesting slope. So adulting while Black, navigating career, finances, mental health. So how does mentorship play a role in supporting Black students and young Black professionals as they balance education, career, and personal well-being?
I believe that with every great leader comes someone that can teach them the aisles to navigate.
Yeah.
Now, I would be a fool and I would be remiss to believe that every leader has had a mentor.
Right.
But I know that in order for you to go to the next level of your leadership in life, you have to have someone that you are following, looking at, taking note from, and being able to just push forward past your limit.
Right.
Because there's something about someone who has already been through that experience, being able to coach you up to the next level that you yourself doing it by yourself, you hit a glass ceiling.
Right.
And when it comes down to adulting, no one can really teach you how to be an adult.
No,
it's so ghetto.
It's so ghetto. It's so ghetto. And it's like, there's so many things that pop up on a day-to-day that you could have never even thought of.
Yes.
Yeah, but you got to deal with it.
And the most important thing that I've learned about being an adult is you cannot be the best version of yourself as an adult unless you get into the field. Yeah. And you get thrown out there.
Sometimes you gotta get thrown in and get beat up a little bit too.
Exactly. That safety net is dangerous. Because it doesn't teach you how to actually navigate.
Problem solve.
Exactly. Navigate when it's times that are hard, times that are difficult, and when you need to get yourself out of things. And being an adult that is, I'm going to grad school full time, I'm working full time. Yes. Have a mentoring program, and I'm also still trying to take on opportunities. It's not easy. But if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
So I think just really equipping yourself with specific skills, such as just being consistent, being dedicated, writing things down, cleaning up, cleaning up your space, I think that these things help you navigate, and then mentorship can take you further than that.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you want to talk a little bit about your mentorship program?
Yes, I'd love to. So I am the co-founder of Involve Her mentoring program. Imani Wilson, she's also, Imani Willing, she just got married. She is also the co-founder of Involve Her. And we founded Involve Her literally off of a hope and a dream. About 3 years ago. Me and Monty met when she was the president. Well, yeah, she was the president of NCNW, DSU, and I was the president of Morgan State NCNW. She wanted to start the chapter there.
Mm-hmm.
She reached out to the entire group chat of like presidents and said, "I need help." Yeah. And me and her sat on the phone for hours. Just exchanging information. We didn't know each other from anywhere. When we both graduated, we both became Deltas.
Just that HBCU connection.
Exactly.
That sisterhood connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We both crossed Delta Sigma Theta. And then literally she moved to North Carolina with Dajay, which is her wife. Mm-hmm. And I moved to North Carolina shortly after. Right. And then we both was in Durham. And then we started Involve Her.
It's like, let's do it.
Yes.
This is state.
Yes. Yeah. And so we have been operating for about 3+ years, and our girls are amazing. They're growing every single day. It's so beautiful to see them matriculate through high school. And it's so great to see them like just learn things through our teachings and our workshops. And they teach us things. So
yeah, I love that. I love that mentorship. There's so much that can be done when you have a good mentor. Mm-hmm. And yes. I think, for some perspective, I haven't shared this on the podcast just yet, but I also have my own mentorship program of HBCU girls. Yes. And there's so much beauty, I think, and power in having someone that's not necessarily like far off from you as far as like age, mm-hmm. But that has been through some similar things, that has walked some similar halls and walks of life that you have, that can just give you some very real perspective, but not necessarily somebody who's mastered it all just yet,
exactly.
And I will say through the Braxton Simpson Enterprise HBCU mentorship program, it's been
working.
it has been. I think that has been like my greatest blessing. I think in the whole thing is just being able to watch the girls grow from having effective mentors that are literally super close to their age.
Literally.
Yeah, it's a comfort zone, because I think not that it's a great thing. I've had mentors that are much older than me that have guided me through different spaces of life, and it's been amazing. But I think having someone who is 5, 6, 7, not too far, still kind of in your generation, that is like, hey girl, 2 years ago I was going through this, and I'm just telling you right now, like, this is not the route to go, or hey, maybe think about it differently. And I think it's so special that y'all are doing this with high school girls.
Yes.
Because they are looking at y'all as like big sisters, essentially.
That's exactly what we are to them, because they give us for our money. But I think it's just something so pure about being in the stages of, I don't know exactly where I want to go, but I know that I'm looking at you. And I see that you are the example of what I want to be, become, grow into. And I love the fact that Imani and I just harp on the mere fact that these girls have identities. Mm-hmm. And they are growing into them every day.
Yeah, and they're figuring out exactly who they are.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know how precious and beautiful that is? Before the world gets to
take it.
Exactly. And take on your personality of like, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to be here, you're not supposed to act like this. They are so pure in their understanding of just Blackness, of being a young girl, of navigating this world. And I think that like, that is the greatest gift that I could ever ask for, is this them being genuinely themselves.
Yes, and being able to hold on to that.
Yes.
Yeah. And like I said, I think it's powerful, I think from you all's perspective of just being able to show them like, as they are navigating this journey, that it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yes.
Like, they can look at your life and see, like, Destiny's not perfect.
Nope.
Like, she's going through stuff. She's struggling through things. She's working through things. She's hustling, but she's showing up every day. She's figuring it out. She's still here with us. She's still pushing through and sticking true to the things that she said she was going to do, staying, being a woman of her word. And I think that's really important too, because I think so many times we're preached perfection. And especially as Black women, we are expected to be so much for everybody all the time. And that is draining.
Exactly.
And if anything, one thing I always want to show my girls is you don't have to be perfect.
Nope.
You don't have to have it all figured out. I want my life to be a pure example of that. But I do want you to understand that whatever you commit to, you stick to that.
Yeah.
Being here and in school and working towards your degree is one of those things. So we're going to stick that through. And honestly, just going after it, but realizing that there's beauty in the imperfection of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I say all the time is the way you do one thing is how you do everything. So show up. If it's just showing up for you, you got to check in my book.
Yeah.
Show up for you. And that's one thing that I want our girls to really hone into, because it's easy to show up for everybody else. It's easy to put on a facade. But how do you show up for yourself?
Yeah. And that's important.
Yes.
And a lot of us are learning that.
Yes.
Learning how to do that.
I'm still learning that.
I'm learning
every single day.
Yeah, I'm learning that. So you talked about being a student. You're getting your next degree.
I am.
Yes. You're a professional. You're a community organizer, mentor. How do you manage all of that from a mental health perspective for you personally?
Therapy.
Hello. Because I'm there too, girl. And I love my therapist.
Therapy. So that is actually a really great question, because if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have not had an answer for you. It's something about, first of all, it's something about coming into my 29th year of life.
Hello. Clarity.
That has opened up my mind to understand that I was so cluttered and I needed to declutter.
Yeah.
It was a state of emergency. The only way that I could genuinely navigate all of the different avenues that I'm up against right now is the fact that I have to spend less time on the things that I want and spend more time on the things that I need. So
prioritization.
Exactly. When it's times I like to be outside.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I love a brunch.
Yes.
But there are times where I've had such a long week and the last thing I need is brunch.
I don't have it to give.
Yes. The only thing I need is to clean this house.
Right.
Is to reset. Is to listen to a sermon. Is to really decompress myself to figure out where exactly I want to be, because it's so easy, especially as women, to feel like we're off the path. And that's when we go get unnecessary degrees. That's when we go try to sign up for all of these certificates. We start to be irrational in our movements because we haven't even decluttered the space that we're in now.
Yeah.
And I actually just said this on my way here is, thank you, God, for everything that you have provided me. And please continue to give me that obedience and that strength to continue to move forward, because I never want to mishandle what you have gave me. And I want to store it properly, everything that you have provided for me. And I think that comes with...
Properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
That comes with giving yourself grace, but also giving yourself priorities. Making sure that you are dedicating yourself to your own mission and following it through.
Yeah. That is a really important thing. And I think a lot of time, again, as Black women, we don't take enough time always to focus on what it is that we need. We spend so much time pouring into everybody else. And that is an age-old tale. We've seen our mothers do it. We saw our grandmothers do it. And it's just something that has continued to progress through generations. And I think we're the generation where we're okay, this is going to have to stop with us at some point. You can't give so much to everybody else and nothing to yourself. Or what will you really have to give?
Exactly.
What will you really have to give? So I'm proud of you for that. Girl, therapy's been great for me too.
I'm so glad.
Yes.
I'm so glad.
And similar to you, I started about a year ago. And I've been going consistently, and it has really been life-changing for me.
I'm so glad you're taking care of yourself, because you have so much going on. And it's so important to just focus on you.
And I think for a while, I thought that something drastic had to happen for me to decide that therapy was going to be necessary for me. So I went for so long thinking, well, I don't think anything's like crazy wrong. So what do I really need therapy for? And it took for something to actually happen for me to get into therapy. But then when I got into therapy, I realized, oh girl, you got other issues.
So much to unpack. It's so much to unpack.
And to that decluttering point, one thing I'm working on is, okay, girl, you do have all these things going on, and and all of that is great. But my therapist always asks me, at what point in here are you taking a break for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a packed calendar, but why is your calendar packed so back to back that there's no time for rest?
Can't even rest. Can't even breathe.
You can't sleep. Like you're going to sleep, but that's about it. You're not actually intentionally resting, like in doing things that are just for Braxton.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm working on decluttering.
Yes,
like you said,
I am too.
Decluttering.
It's a step-by-step day-to-day process, but it's super important.
So. Very necessary. So continuing on identity, we're talking about being young, Black, and female in today's America. What is the importance of sisterhood and mentorship within the D9 community, especially in supporting young Black women through the challenges that they face in education and career spaces? I know you kind of sit in both of those areas.
Yes. I think sisterhood is so important. I cannot I could sit here and talk to you for 3 hours about sisterhood. And that's because I learned so much of who I was as a woman through sisterhood and through other women, through their experiences, through their love, through their devotion. When people talk about, and they go on rants and they be like, yeah, this is why I don't got no friends.
I don't get it.
I can't relate, sister.
Yeah. I need my girls.
That ain't me.
Yeah, I need my girls.
That ain't me.
Yeah.
Because I literally don't know who I would be and where I would be if I did not have my sisters.
Yes. And there's so much of us that we find within each other.
Yes.
And I often think about, and this is like sisterhood in general, the women who gave so much to me without any expectation of it being reciprocated back to them.
Yes.
And that is what my first example of sisterhood was. I watched that through my mom and her friends. I watched that through her and her sorority sisters. Coming up, I experienced how, older Black women would treat me. And I'm now experiencing that mid-20s in my girl groups and how I built community here in North Carolina with you and so many of my other friends that I've met here, but then also at home in the relationships that I've had with we started off as girls and we're adults now, and how important our relationships have become and how much of who I am does not exist without the love and the support and the pouring in that my girl gang gives to me.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want to imagine a world without it.
You described that so beautifully. I have so many different friend groups, and I know my friends watching this are probably gonna laugh because they already know. My first sister is my actual sister, my big sister, and the love that she provides to me, the care that she's always provided for me, the grace that she's always given me, the non-competitive edge. We're 7 years apart. It's non-competitive. It's always just very encouraging, uplifting. She just made a playlist for me the other day, which I was just like, girl, like this not even your type of personality to do something like this. Like she's stone cold. But the way she has loved me from the time she met me as a young child to now showed me how much I can love others. And then when I went to college, it enhanced that even more.
That is so beautiful because me and my little sister are 8 years apart.
Oh,
so my little sister is 8 years younger than me, and I literally could only hope that that's how my little sister feels about me. Yes. Yeah, girl, that's gonna make me a little.
Yes, I literally was just getting emotional because I'm like, yes.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know you had a big sister.
I do.
But yeah, that I pray that like my life and the love that I give to my sister, because I love my little sister with all my heart. Like something about the big sisters, I don't know, the oldest children, the oldest daughters out there. There's something about, but my little sister is my entire world.
Yeah.
And I can only pray that how you describe your little sister, that's what I hope my sister has taken from me.
Yes.
Yeah.
My sister, my sister is 7 years older than me, and she has always stood in the gaps for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to get emotional, but she's always stood in the gaps for me. And even when my dad was alive, my sister was my dad's first daughter. Okay. And even though that's not my sister's father, my dad was my sister's first father. Yeah. And when my dad passed away, it hit my sister as hard as it hit me because my dad loved her.
Testament to y'all's love.
Exactly.
As a family. Yeah.
And the love that protruded from that relationship with my sister, all it did was fill me up with love to see how many more relationships I can make like that. Then I just got it on steroids. Yeah, like I need more sisters. Right. And then coming from a city like Baltimore where it's a lot of competitive edge, it's a lot of I'm a side eye you before I get to know you.
Getting out the mud.
It's a really getting it out the mud situation. A lot of the times I am so blessed to have developed friendship and sisterhood. And my second introduction into sisterhood, and I talk about this all the time, the women that transformed me so much and has literally put their hand on my heart in life is NCNW. Yeah. NCNW hands down.
For those that are watching, National Council of Negro Women.
Yes. Morgan State University section specifically. My sisters, oh my gosh, I love them so very much. And I cannot thank them enough for just being women that was able to see me in my rough, I was rough coming to college. See me at my lowest and my roughest times and to truly love on me, guide me. And specifically Kyra Harvey. She was my president when I came in, and she looked at me, her and Jonelle was like, you're going to be our miss, and then you're going to become our president. And I looked at them and I said, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm here to meet people.
Exactly. I'm just here to vibe.
Right.
And literally like a year or two later, I became the Miss NCNW, and then I became president of NCNW. And then that's when my life, literally, I can't even lie to you, my life transformed then. And the relationships I've grown and built and just cultivated over this time. Yeah. Even with Maya Parker, like that's really my closest friend. And then of course I would be remiss to mention my best friend, Kristen Levine. We have been best friends since high school, and she just graduated nursing school a few weeks ago.
I saw that. Congrats, girl.
Shout out to my girlie. And she moved out here in North Carolina with me. And we both moved out here together. And sisterhood is so essential to the soul. And I don't want to keep going on, but I love my sisters. Monty, died. Even my girlies that I met in North Carolina, I'm so grateful. And I'm so happy that God has given me a heart to take in sisterhood, feel all of the feels, and be able to be the best version of myself around these ladies.
And we need it, right? And it's so crazy how sisterhood specifically within our community as Black women, how we just feel. Yes. It seems like we're often feeling things at the same time. One thing I've been talking about with several of my guests is, post-election, we were all taking a big collective sigh. But I can say that sisterhood truly got me through. Yes. Girl, I was down, especially, I know it hit you hard because it hit me hard. And as community organizers, as people who are on the ground doing that work every day, traveling across the state, pouring into people, trying to get people registered to vote, advocating on the ground. Yes. That's a hard hit. Feels very personal. And I know when it was hitting my girlfriends bad, I was like, oh, I'm in for a disaster. Because I've been dedicating my whole life to this. And also the fact that there's so many people that look to me for response on how to handle and cope in this moment. I don't know.
We don't know. We don't have a response. Yeah. We don't have a response. But what I will tell you is literally I woke up to the election results and I immediately had to hop on therapy. Yep. And I burst out crying because again, like you said, it feels like a personal hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the amount of people that had to go to work that day, like, yeah, I
Yes.
felt sick to my stomach. I don't want
Yes.
to talk to nobody.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
There's nothing for us to discuss.
Nothing.
Don't even smile too hard because
Mm-mm.
you're gonna piss me off.
Yeah. I'm pissed.
Pissed.
Yeah. Like my only response right now is rest. But
Yes.
I'm also trying to figure out how to do that because, you know, we spent 365 days preparing.
Exactly.
So the idea of rest was a little foreign. So we'll move on to community and culture, preserving and evolving Black identity. So what was your first experience of community and culture, and how has that informed your personal journey?
My first experience of community and culture was definitely Morgan State.
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen so many Black people in my life thrive in excellence, and it is so popular.
It's cool to do.
It's so cool to do. I again born and raised in Baltimore. It wasn't really like a trend to be smart. Like, you know, it was like,
Yeah.
you know, oh yeah. I mean, if you smart, then it's like, yeah, look, shorty, that's
Cool.
you
She's
know, smart,
Yeah.
or whatever. But it wasn't really popular. It didn't look like it was digestible.
Yeah.
Because to anybody that was intelligent, smart, or popular, in the intelligence realm, it was just lame. It wasn't really
like you're
cool
a nerd.
behavior. Exactly.
Yeah.
So to come to Morgan and seeing that being intelligent, being Black, being just a trendsetter, be so cool and so beautiful and so praised.
Yeah. It was, yeah. And I can attest to that. My experience was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that it wasn't cool, but I would say that for me, growing up, I was in a school system where being Black and a leader and smart and all those things wasn't accepted. It wasn't accepted. And so there were, you know, of course, people that would cheer you on, but there were also a lot of people, especially like non-Black people, that would make any attempt at leadership seem like it was the worst thing that could ever happen. So every time me and my friends would go out for this or go out for that, it would be like trying to rig the elections, trying to figure out how these people can't be on the homecoming court and how they can't do this and that. And so it will tear down your spirit.
Yes.
And so for me, like I was the first Black homecoming queen in my in my county. Yeah, but it was also came with like some craziness.
I'm sure it did.
You know, my friends like, you know, being valedictorians and all these things and like it being challenged, you know?
Wow.
And so I can agree to my own question that my best community and cultural experience, my first real example of that was going to Tennessee State.
Wow.
It was going to Tennessee State because I finally got to go somewhere and felt accepted.
Yes.
Like being smart and all those things it was okay to be that, but it was just, I was finally around teachers and administrators and of course the student body that was like, it's okay to be here and like, it's okay to feel okay being Black and thrive because I was secure in my Blackness, but it was like, I felt like I was always on edge.
Yeah.
Like always worried about who was going to try to trip me up and do this and that. And it could be scary sometimes because you're around teachers and administrators that don't have your best interest at heart. And so you're walking these hallways and navigating these spaces where it just feels like somebody is always trying to catch you up. And to be 16, 17, experiencing that every day was extremely exhausting, but I couldn't, it was, I can't say it was fully affecting my identity, but I think in retrospect it was, and how I viewed myself because it was just tough. Right. And so then when I went to Tennessee State, and I remember finishing my freshman year and going home, and I'm like, I know who I am. I know exactly who I am.
That wake up call?
I'm like, I know who I am. I'm secure in who I am. And there's no other place. Like, thank God he brought me to Tennessee State. I needed no other place to be than an HBCU at this point in time.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know where I would have been. I don't know how I would have viewed myself.
Yes.
I don't know what other steps would have been taken that could have continued to slowly, because when I realized that was a slow tear down. But for 4 years, I got built back up.
Exactly.
I got built back up. And so it's like, even when we're in times like this, where, you know, we have the government and we have different powers that be that are trying to convince us that we're not this and we're not that. Tennessee State told me that I was. So.
Exactly. I'm already solidified.
Yeah.
I already have a space.
There's nothing that anybody can tell me. I spent 4 years getting my confidence built up so much so that
you can't
break that down.
But even in high school, I think that, like, if I could look back on times, like, something that resonated in my head, I got into a fight in high school and a girl said, "You think you better than everybody." That was like one of the things that, like, always, like, triggered in my mind, because and my response was that I do think I am better than you. I'm better than you. But during that time, I think that because in high school we had so many students that were dealing with so many things day in and day out outside of the school realm.
Yeah.
When you come here, you're literally just trying to get the first and only meal that you're probably going to get, like,
the whole
all
day.
week. For the whole day. And there's so many different trials and tribulations that a lot of my peers and my classmates that were facing, that, like, of course it wasn't cool to be smart, baby. I don't have resources like tutoring.
Right.
I don't have access to be able to do all of these different things and read up on these different things that y'all have access to do, or funding, or
don't got it.
I have to take care of my siblings.
Right.
And so I'm so grateful that Morgan State taught me, and you all people, I don't know what other HBCUs say, but, like, everybody that comes from Morgan, y'all be like, Morgan State saved my life. And we say that all the time, especially during homecoming time, but it's so true. Yeah. It's so true. I just remember I was actually going in and out of court when I was going into college, and that's a whole nother story for another day. But I remember during that time, I just was remembering and understanding that, like, dang, like, I did something in high school that is still carrying on with me into college, and I can't get this thing off my back.
Yeah.
And then
weighing me down.
Exactly. And then the next year after that, I just seen how God was shedding certain things off me. Shedding certain things, certain identities, certain things I thought about myself. And it's something so powerful about coming into an identity that you can actually identify with, that feels right. College was the first time I acknowledged that I had anxiety. Mm-hmm. To have anxiety in high school means that you're scary. You're
crazy.
Exactly.
All the things. Yeah.
So yes, I'm gonna leave that as that. But I definitely feel like culture, confidence, relevance of, like, my identity of who I am as a woman came from me being in college.
Yes, I love that. So what steps do you think we can take as a collective to just advocate for the continuation and expansion of educational opportunities for Black students in those marginalized communities we were just talking about?
We have to want to be in spaces where we are having uncomfortable conversations about what role each person is playing collectively within our education system. Mm-hmm. We have to stop trying to point the fingers at our educators and making it seem like they are the reason why our students are below grade level. We have to stop pointing the fingers at our administrators and stop making it seem like the reason why our student is not thriving in certain spaces is because they're not providing them with the resources or the adequate things that they need to get throughout their school day. Mm-hmm. And we have to come together to build collective power.
It's the system.
Yes. As parents, as educators, as community, our public schools need us more now than ever. And I don't think that y'all understand that educators are literally in the field because they genuinely want to be in the field. They love this. They're not getting paid adequately. They're not getting resources and funding the way you may think in your head.
A lot of them are funding their own classrooms.
Majority of them are funding their own classrooms.
Out of their own personal
Half
pockets.
of the educators are not even living in their district that they are teaching in because they cannot afford it. They have to live in different districts and travel every single day because they cannot afford to live in their district. I need us, when we are having these conversations, I need us to get rid of the propaganda and the rhetoric, the dangerous rhetoric against our educators, because they are trying, they are fighting, they are advocating, and me working for an organization that I see what educators are doing day in and day out to be able to create a world where public education is not on a thread. Public education in public schools is literally the heart of our world and our society because they are raising the future students of tomorrow to be the best version of themselves and to go out into the world to be able to be decision makers, advocates, and change agents. Yeah. We have to invest in our public schools. Absolutely. We have to invest in our educators. We have to invest in our resources. If you see that there is someone that's an educator that's putting out that they need resources for their classroom, please just send it to them.
Send it. I love that. That's a mic drop. That's a mic drop. Listen, my mother's an educator. I come from educators.
Yes.
Some of my best friends are educators. I second all of that.
Wow.
All
Yes.
of it.
My grandma was a custodian for many years, retired, public school. Treat your custodian right. Treat them with kindness and love.
My mom always told me that. And yes. I think being an educator, one thing she's always been is like super just that any school she's worked at, she's always been great friends with the custodians. Yes. The custodians, that's the first person she goes and meets. And she always would tell me and my brother and my sister, when you start school, when you go and meet your teachers, you go meet the custodian staff too. You know? And those were people that could end up helping me with anything.
Anything.
They know anything that everything.
Oh, and they know everybody.
Yeah.
They know everybody. So yes, just please, even your support staff, your bus drivers, be kind. Be kind. Please be kind. And give what you can and put in good words and fight the good fight for our public schools, because New Orleans have never recovered from the hurricane and they don't have public schools. So if you believe that there's no possibility that public schools will ever become exempt, there is.
I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Wow. So are all the public schools in Louisiana?
There is non-existent.
Wow.
Non-existent.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
Wow. So one more question in this section. How do we pipeline Black students into post-secondary educational spaces? Maybe your thoughts on pipelines into HBCUs, considering the political climate. I know a lot of Black students are, there has been a surge of students going to HBCUs, especially with all the hype around our institutions, but specifically now, in a lot of times where affirmative action is being kind of turned away into different directions, Black students are considering HBCUs at a much higher rate.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, thoughts
Pipeline.
on that? Yeah.
I feel like the only way we're going to pipeline our HBC. Okay, so this may be what it exactly needs to be done. As HBCU students, we can talk about how we love our institution so much. We need to get into the field. We need to be at high schools. The earliest part of elementary school students seeing anything and replicating it is y'all being in their schools very early on. Showing them D9 specifically well.
They love that.
They love that. Let's get in the field. Let's take up our resources and things that we have that we feel like we need to thrive in our college activities, whether it is organizations, whether it is clubs or committees. But let's also dedicate some time, some days, some hours, some weeks, some months to going to some elementary schools, going through some high schools and some middle schools, specifically middle schools, please. Them babies need to see something. So that way they can feel like they have a direct streamline to what it looks like to be an HBCU graduate, what it looks like to be an HBCU student, and what it looks like to be an HBCU advocate. It starts with us.
Yeah.
The only way we can give back to our communities or fall forward and continue to grow as an HBCU is if we continue to give back and pour into those that are coming behind us.
That's good. And giving back doesn't always have to be financially.
It doesn't have
especially
to
as
always
young
be
alumni. Like, we know that is tough these first few years out, but you can give back with your time.
Yeah. We're poor sometimes.
Yeah.
Lots of times.
Poor.
Okay. But you can definitely give back with your time. And I urge you to give back with your time.
I love that, Destiny. So to kind of wrap for today, I have my signature question that I've been asking all of my guests. Okay. So Black in Motion is all about just staying in motion, making power moves for the culture. So what's one way that you keep it pushing and just stay in motion, whether it's in your hustle, your community, or your everyday life?
I follow Black people. I comment, like, share, subscribe to Black in Motion and every single Black organization that's doing things that's in the community. I show up to events. I want to donate my time, donate my money, donate my resources to everybody that is doing things that's already within the community so that we can keep these things going. I think being Black and in motion is one of the most richest things that we could potentially do in this world because we have the power and we have the space to be able to create and cultivate our own spaces. Continuing the conversation of advocacy, youth development, and HBCU love, making sure that we are thriving within these Black spaces and taking up space, take up the room, take the mic. And then also, last but not least, making sure that we're loving on one another and showing each other the grace and the tranquility behind who we are as people, because you never know what somebody is going through, dealing with, and you can be their beginning to a new life.
Hello. That's it. Mic drop, girl. Mic drop. Well, thank you so much for being here, sis. I'm so glad you could be on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy that you are doing this podcast. You are the most perfect and amazing person to do this. And I think that you give everybody else their flowers. And I always want to make sure I give you your flowers because you are literally an inspiration. Whenever I'm laying in my bed and I'm scrolling on TikTok all day, I be like, let me get myself up because Braxton would not be sitting here laying down like this all day long. So
stop. Look, Braxton been taking her flight. But Braxton been taking her rest too. Okay,
Braxton is on a flight. When I look up, Braxton's in Texas,
sleeping on a plane. Exactly. Well, girl, thank you so much for being here. This was absolutely inspiring. I learned so much. And
I learned a lot.
Yes. Like these are the conversations we need to have. I can't wait to have you back.
Yes. Have me back.
Yes. So, girl, tell the people where they can find you, where they can connect with you, and learn a little bit more about what you're doing.
Yes. So you can connect with me on Instagram at Ann and Loring Destiny _ So ANALLURING DESTINY _
There we go.
On Instagram. And then also have a TikTok. Don't really post much there, but love me some TikTok. So yes. And also follow my mentoring program Instagram at Involve Her, INVOLVHER her. Well, Involve Her on Instagram, please. Thank you.
Yes. Connect. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank y'all for tuning in. I can't wait for the next episode. You guys stay tuned and meet us back here for the next episode of the Black in Motion podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.